those other activities together.
Let me interrupt you. Can you explain the pack type thing? Why that goes on? Okay.
Yeah. So in the wild, I keep saying that you're doing all the right things. I'm actually really impressed by it because you have had so many dogs for so many years. Because, 25, 30 years ago, the way they were training dogs is very different from the way they're training dogs now. So when I first saw you with a new dog, I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't train it like she trained the dog 30 years ago. Because it was all wrong.
Right.
Because the way all of that dog training came about was scientists studying wolves that were placed in zoos. So they were wolves that didn't know each other, and they were thrown into an enclosure together, and so they didn't have their freedom to roam, and then there were all these wolves they didn't know. So they were studying them and saying, this is how we need to train dogs, because this is how wolves, which dogs are 99% the same genetically, that's how dogs would also act in the wild. And it's not true because they didn't even know each other, and then they were thrown into an enclosure, so all of these things were wrong with it. But so we figured that out, fortunately. And then about 10 years ago, they actually, I don't remember what country, but they actually found a pack of wild dogs. And they were in the wild, and they left them in the wild, and they studied them that way. So they do still live in pack units, but it's more like a family, like a mom and a dad and kids and uncles and cousins. And so you have two pack leaders. You have the alpha male and you have the alpha female. And they all live in like a family. They're not constantly fighting each other to gain power or anything like that, like they previously thought. They know who the alpha male is and who the alpha female is. They decide everything for the pack. They decide who's going to breed. They decide when they're going to hunt. They eat before the rest of the pack does. And the only time that they worry about if those are still going to be the alpha male and alpha female is whenever they come back from a hunt. They need to check them out and make sure that they're still physically and mentally fit, to be the pack leaders.
So that's every time you leave the house. They check you out.
For you and your dog,
Seriously.
That's every time you leave the house, because they don't know where you went and what kind of condition you're going to be in when you come back.
So they're checking to see that your behavior is still consistent.
Yes, that you're still a leader. Because you may have to be taken out, and maybe that dog has to become a leader now.
So
That's what
the
they think,
most
though.
important thing is that the behavior be consistent.
Yeah, consistency is very important, and that's the last part of the commandments. But so most homes in America are not set up like this at all. Most dogs think that they're the pack leader because the people don't know how to raise dogs. They don't know how to train them. They don't know how to talk to them. They don't know how to understand how the dog is talking back to them. And so the dogs think they're the pack leaders or the decision makers. I use the terms, I interchange them, pack leader and decision maker, because pack leader kind of has a negative connotation attached to it. So when I say that, some people are like, oh, you're one of those people. But it's really